Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Man, we've got a tremendous amount of rain the last couple of days. It's rained all day. Got a little break in the action right now, but according to the weatherman, it's going to pick right back up here anytime. So I'm not going to get to do the video that I had planned on doing today, but I did want to take advantage of this little break in the rain to check in with you guys and talk about a subject that I've mentioned in past videos. You know, I've done a lot of shotgun videos on this channel. Shotguns are one of my favorite videos to do because shotgunning seems to come more natural to me than some of the other types of shooting. You know, I love all of it, don't get me wrong, but shotgun videos are probably my favorite to do. I want to talk about beads versus fiber optic sights. Now, as we move along here and as I flap my jaws, keep in mind that I'm not talking about slug guns, I'm not talking about turkey guns, I'm not talking about tactical shotguns, I'm not talking about any shotgun that you would take your time and aim as you would a rifle. You actually treat those types of shotguns more like you would a rifle when it comes to aiming. I'm talking about wing shooting shotguns today. You know, duck guns, dove guns, sporting clays guns, that type of a shotgun. Just like this one I've got here. This is a Beretta 390. It's my Beretta 390. I've had it for 15 years probably, just guessing. And it's been, man, just a great shotgun. Just super reliable. I did it up in Brownell's Alumahide. I put the olive drab on the stocks and the earth brown on the barrel and the receiver. But anyway, it's just got a simple brass bead on it. And that's the way I like my shotguns. You've heard me mention that, at least you guys have watched a lot of my videos. You've heard me mention that before, but I never really explain why. I'll just say, you know, this shotgun has a fiber optic sight on the front. I really, you know, I prefer a brass bead, and then I'll move on and talk about something else. I never really explain myself as to why, so I thought I would do that today. To me, on a wing shooting shotgun, a fiber optic sight is just a distraction. You should never be looking at your front sight. You should never be focused on your front sight when you're shooting. And a fiber optic, especially to a newer shooter, it can pull your eyes and distract you into focusing on that front bead. You don't want to do that. When you're shooting a moving target, you want your both eyes open and your hard focus on the target, not on the sights. So it's kind of the opposite the way you would shoot a rifle or a handgun. That being said, if you've got a fiber optic on the front, one of those big gaudy ones, now there's different types of fiber optics. Some of them are very small and not real bright. Those are, you know, I can deal with those okay. But the big gaudy ones that are just big old light pipes on the front that are really bright, they'll distract even me as much as I shoot. They'll distract my attention at the worst possible moment. When I'm getting ready to fire and my focus goes to that fiber optic sight, I'll slow my swing down or stop my swing even and look at that sight, and then I'll shoot behind the bird. And I've seen so many people make that mistake, and you can't, a new shooter, you can't really fault them. These things are being marketed. It's hard to find a newly manufactured waterfowl shotgun by a major manufacturer that doesn't come with a fiber optic sight. It's just it's the trend that we're in right now. It's what the market wants, it's what the people want, so it's what they're getting. It leaves people like me wondering why. I don't know if people aren't being taught proper wing shooting these days, or if it's just you know, just the thing to have is that big fiber optic looking sight on the front of your shotgun. But either way, it's not for me. You know, like I say, it causes more misses than hits. Now, if you're turkey hunting and you're using your shotgun like a rifle, you've got that turkey out there at 25 yards, and you focus on your front bead and place that over the turkey's head, bam, you know, that's just fine. That's the same way you're doing as you're shooting a rifle. But again, we're talking wing shooting today, which is totally the opposite. And I don't know if a lot of people get that anymore, or if they're taught that anymore. It's kind of an instinctive style of shooting. If you've ever if you ever passed football, you know, took a football and played football out in the backyard with your friends, you've got a guy running, let's say he's running from right to left over here. You don't throw that football to where he's at the moment. Your brain will do the math for you. You'll throw that football out in front of him, and as he's running, he'll catch that football and do whatever he's going to do with it. Same way with leading a target. You don't want to get caught up in aiming and calculating and all that. Just let your brain relax, let your brain do the work, focus on the target. If you've got a good mount, if your shotgun fits you, your brain is it's gonna do all the calculations for you. Don't overthink it. Get out in front of the bird, shoot him, bring him down. It's very, very simple. People overthink it. People overdo it. Now there's a lot of these top sporting clay shooters that just remove their front sight completely from their shotguns. They don't even use a front sight. Now, I like just a plain brass bead because it doesn't draw my attention, yet it's still there in my peripheral so that I can tell if I've got a good mount or not. If you've got a good mount, all right, for instance, I'll focus on that tree limb over there. If I've got a good mount, my bead's going to be in my peripheral vision. It's going to be out of focus, but it's going to be sitting right on top of my receiver. If I've got too much drop, I won't even see my bead. That tells me I'm going to shoot low. If I don't have enough drop, I'll see half of my rib down through here. So I like having my bead here as a reference, but that's all I use it for. I never look at the bead, I never focus on the bead. Now, another thing with fiber optics is, for the most part, they're not as durable. A little brass bead like that is very durable. Very rarely do you see them break off. They do break off, but it takes quite a knock to break one of these brass beads off. Where if you've got one of those fiber optics, man, I've been out so many times out shooting with a group of people, and almost every time somebody's going to break off their fiber optic, or it's going to fall off, they're going to lose it, something or another is going to go wrong. So, that being said, maybe I'm old-fashioned, maybe I'm out of step. The market does seem to be going toward fiber optics. Hard to get a shotgun that don't have one on it these days, especially if you get into like waterfowl shotguns and things like that. Almost all of them, or all of them from the major manufacturers, are coming with fiber optics. So, that being said, you guys let me know how you feel about it. Am I old-fashioned? Am I out of step just because I prefer an old brass bead on my shotguns? Or do you guys also like the brass beads? Let me know. You know, a lot of it's just opinion, but I'm just explaining to you guys why I don't like them. So that's all I really got today. I wish I had more. I wish this weather would straighten up. I can't even get my truck down to my range, as you can see. My range isn't underwater yet, but I'd have to drive through a lot of water to get there. My range is down on the other side of those trees. So that's all I got today. I'll talk with you guys again soon.